Hartley continued performing with his wife, who was the wing walker and is the wing walker, except she had some knee surgery going on, and so she's standing right alongside me today to tell me all about the beautiful lady that's taking her place on the airplane today. And that lady is Jenny Forsyth, a wing walker in her own right, and a stand-in, and literally a stand-in, for Margie today as she goes by. And there's Jenny waving to the crowd with Hartley holding back the power on that 450 horsepower Stearman. And let me tell you, if you feel a little cool here sitting in the stands, you can imagine what she's feeling like. She's going to be putting herself into airspeeds of close to 160, 70 miles an hour. Not the rack as in the old days where they put you on a rack, although some might think of it that way. But you can see the airplane of Hartley's, the Stearman, is equipped with a smoke system. However, not quite the same as Shockwave, right? But it's still putting on a lot of smoke. Now she comes by this time. She is back on the rack at this time as she goes by. The only thing she's got for support is holding onto that rack. Now she is standing sideways, waving to the crowd. Hartley's got the airplane just above the stall speed of about 90 miles an hour. Now, how many times as a kid or as a grown-up have you ever been in a car doing 65, 70 miles an hour, you roll down the window and you stick your hand out there? And where you have found that if you tilt your hand up, your arm wants to levitate right now.
Well, actually, she's climbing out onto one of the wings. She's going to the javelin area, and she's going to be doing what we call the arabesque. One leg is going to be up. Now, Jenny is a different physicality than me. She's much taller. She's like a model. She's beautiful. She's thin. She's tall. And so her moves on these wings, it has a slightly different style than what people are used to seeing me, but they're very artistic. And that's why we've collaborated. She's on the East Coast and I'm on the West normally. And she's really doing a beautiful wing walking job. And this is part of our Wing Walking Alliance.
Well, I can tell you also this from a pilot standpoint of view, is that when another person of bigger stature takes their place on that wing, flying the airplane is a whole different ball game also.
Over the javelin, where I have to kind of struggle over the javelin. For her, it's a very easy sort of step, and all she does is step over it and do this wonderful, beautiful laid out arabesque.
Well, what we want to do is also explain the javelin. The people in the audience have absolutely no idea what you're talking about when you say javelin. The javelin is a bar where the wires run through, and where the wires run through and cross one another on the wing. That is called the javelin, and it's a hard point out there that you can actually hold on to and give it a little assistance.
Right, and actually the wind balances you as well. It's like dancing with an invisible partner where it's pushing against you. You can't see it, but you use it to help you. Now Jenny is off the back of the rack, and she's got her leg out in another arabesque. She's holding on tightly, and this is sort of one of the artistic poses that she does, that she's originated actually on her father's ultralight. And she also wing walks with Walt Pierce on his Stearman. So to put it all together and to present it to you today is a unique experience.
Well, it certainly is. And when you said she's hanging on tightly, you can bet your booties on that. And it is handled in its way that only a professional can, and that's with Hartley Folstat in the cockpit. Now you can see she's changed position again, and this time she's laid out flat. What do you call this one?
Well, we call it the flying pass, where you're actually flying on the javelin. And this pass is really, really wonderful because you're actually suspended over the ground, and you get the real sensation of speed as you're going and flying over the ground. And this is, where you put your arms out and, you're like a bird. It's just really one of the most wonderful feelings.
I'm sure you're right there, and I'm going to take your word for it. Yeah. By the way, Margie, we know that you're doing a little physical therapy now after your recent knee operation, which was just the other day, right?
Taking it just one day at a time. That's all I can do. This was sudden for me, and.
Okay, well, good. In fact, the wind out here is even giving us a problem, let alone the airplanes. We got stuff flying off of the announcer stand. Now, things have changed. Hartley has picked up speed, and she again has changed position. So what are we going to be looking for now?
Actually, she's in the cockpit. He's going to be doing a pitch up before landing. Normally we put the flag up at this point, but the flag is a very difficult stunt to do, and we've elected to practice a little more on the ground before we ever do it in the air.
Well, I know in the advent of safety that when you start the routine, the act, so to speak, from the ground, the cockpit is the safest place to be, and there's a lot of reasons for that, and safety is paramount. In the air show industry, it can get, as we know, you're on the outside of the envelope a lot of times. Well, you know, it's funny. I soloed. My first solo was in a Stearman many years ago, and I've never had the inclination to really get out of the cockpit once the airplane was airborne. So that is a different world. I can't even really think about. And here you do it all the time. Because it's your business and you enjoy it and you see the artistry and the beauty of it. I'm just a cockpit guy. I'm gonna stay inside the airplane.
Well, actually, I came from a pilot's perspective too, and you know, I actually totally believe your point of view for staying in the cockpit. It was the need that got me out of the cockpit. Now here they come by. Jenny's done an excellent job. Please, everybody, wave to her and show her your appreciation. She's come all the way from the East Coast, and it's snowing where she comes from, so she is like really happy right now. She's thinking this is warm, everyone. So yeah, tell them thank you very much, and I personally appreciate it too.
Well, I do know this. I do know that in temperatures that we've got today, which here we are in Southern California, San Diego, it's got a mean temperature, usually all year somewhere in the around 70-degree area. But today can be brutal, and I know today is nothing compared to what you have been exposed to in years past.